Now, Darren, you're the Labor man, so I'll start off with you. A Labor-aligned think tank, the John Curtin Research Centre, has suggested that the youngest members of the Labor Party are, frankly, a little too close to being Greens, and this will have a long-term effect on changing the party from being the mainstream centre-left party in the country to becoming a hard-left party. Now, the results of that would be that, of course, under the Karen Rudd rules for leadership, it is the membership that also can choose its leader, which means you could be on a path to a Jeremy Corbyn-style ultra-left leader who, of course, then is difficult to sell to mainstream Australia. Now, he's jumping a few steps ahead, but it is the future of the party. What do you think?
Look, when I went to university, Paul, I avoided student politics and I avoided student politicians because I found them to be generally a fairly entitled, bratish bunch. And they then tend to make their friends there and forge political careers. And that's Labor, Liberal, Green, all major political parties and others. So, look, it's true that on campus people are sort of more left-wing. What do they say? If you're not a socialist at 18, you have no heart, but if you're still a socialist at 40, you have no brains. And that's what undergraduate life is all about. You don't have the power, and until you have the power, you don't get the money, and then you get the women. So, look, it's all just...
We got Scarface, we got it all there. I love it.
Do you want me to jump in on that?
I have almost... over to you, Christy, but look, no one takes student politicians seriously. They never did, and they never will.
Christy, how do you feel about the Liberal side of things, about whether the young ones are too lefty?
Look, I, like Darren, I never joined university politics precisely because I was one of those young Australians who was working. I was a full-time junior secretary in the CBD in Perth, and I studied at night time several years later. So I didn't go from school to universities and have the O-Week experience and trying to sign up to political parties and forge my main friendships there. I was out in the world, which is probably precisely why I'm in the Liberal Party, not the Labor Party.
But also, I mean, it is something where, I was talking about this with a friend just last night. The fact that footy clubs have more paid up and proud members than political parties matters, right? Now, I know for an extreme number of people, they think the concept of joining a political party is kind of a little bit nutty. But when you think about what the consequences of becoming a member of a political party could be, that's what helps change the makeup of the parliament, the future of the country, all the rest of it. Do you think that, again, be they whatever type, and obviously mostly conservative that'll be watching us right now, but do you think people, Darren, should think about, rather than just yelling at the telly and screaming on Facebook, actually joining these things?
I've always thought that you've got to roll your sleeves up and get involved, and whether that means joining a party or whether that means joining a group of people who push on a particular issue, and it can be something local. It can be, you don't want a particular development to go ahead, or you don't want something in your suburb, but then often leads to a broader interest. And as Paul Keating once said, if you change the government, you change the country. So it's incredibly important, but it's difficult to motivate people with their busy lives these days to give time to branch meetings, to handing out on street corners and handing out on various election days and by-elections and local elections. It's a big time commitment for very little kudos, frankly. And so I think times have changed. It's very hard to draw people in. But I do say to everyone, and younger people in particular, get involved, because your vote matters as much as you make it, and it's up to you.